Everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to EA Tetragrammaton, where we are playing This is turn 43. Let's jump into things. Okay, so we've got a whole bunch of site searching going on. Let's check how that went. Nothing with Dark Knowledge, Gnome Lore, Auspex. We cast some Clayman. Didn't get anything with another Auspex, Haruspex, Gnome Lore, Apsu, Haruspex, Dark Knowledge, Augury. Found nothing with our Seasort 2 or 3. We can do a new prophet. That's good. We have an unexpected event in A famine has struck. We've lost 1,000 population. That is unfortunate. And then patrolling brute troops in Bell have killed 1 priest. A very, very underwhelming turn, unfortunately. But again, we are very close to the end of our site searching, so pretty much going to be done with this shortly. So what's happening with this turn? So this is the big deal this turn. So we can see over here in Feral Woods at 154, we've got a big pile of Ko-Onis, Onis, etc., right? We've got about 200 enemy units here. Now this could just be a mission. Keep in mind, the fight against Lanka did scatter a lot of his units around. So he might just be moving them around, collecting them. Or alternatively, he might be launching an attack on Delka. And that's what we're going to kind of like assume that this is. So, since he might be attacking Delka, we are going to jump in because there's the likelihood that he does not know how much ground we can cover in this type of moment, right? That we can jump with a lot of units from Perenna to Delka, from Agartha to Delka, even from our capital to Delka. So that's going to be the main focus for the entirety of this turn. So let's talk about all of the other things real quick first, okay? So research-wise, because we're moving around a lot of mages, we are actually going to take a little bit of a hit this turn, but we're still at about 400. So we're still on track to hit Alteration 7 in, what is that? That's still around about 4 more turns, depending on the situation, right? And then our site searching does continue, but it is pretty much, we're done with Auspex in the south. Now it's all Auspex in the north. We're done with Gnome Lore in most places. We've got a couple of 2s that we can continue to do. We're done with Haruspex in the south. We've got some, we've got a caster doing it in the north now. We've got a couple of places up here that we've got to hit. So like Pugria, Teneria, Iotha, Delka. Those all still need to be hit. Dark Knowledge is still going for a little while because we only have 2 people casting that. But we're actually pretty close to done down south, or are done down south. I think we have White Peaks is the only one that we haven't done down south, etc., etc., right? So continuing to do all of those things. We are, actually, I've got to do some forging this turn. So this we'll take care of this at the end of the turn. I've got some ideas on what I want to do already. So let's go ahead and talk about what we're actually throwing into Delka. So the main force is going to be coming from Perenna. We've got 52 units led by Elder 9, and we've got 100 units led by NC2. So this will put us at 150-ish units, plus a pretty good Mage Corps coming in as well. On top of that, we'll have a small amount of province defense here, and then so if it's actually against 200-ish units, and granted there's another 50 or so that could come into Delka as well from Wick, I think we have a much better chance in this type of environment, right? Because keep in mind, I think we did a pretty good job when we were outnumbered 4-1, basically. And now the gap is significantly closed if this is what if he actually does attack into Delka. So what are we bringing as far as mages go? because the setup for our units is pretty tame, right? We've got a group on the south with hold and attack rear. We've got our Mushushus in the north with hold and attack rear, and then we've got a big blob in the right, and then we're actually bringing the claim in where they're just in the back. So there we go. What are we doing? We're doing mostly buffs, right? We've got a bunch of Ishibs coming along. And we're going to do a bunch of Wave Warriors spam. So Wave Warriors is basically Liquid Body in a 5 AoE. So we've got a fair amount of units, a fair amount of Ishibs spamming out Wave Warriors. Okay? And the hope there is basically to turn this into an attrition fight that we super win, right? Give all of our, or a good portion of our units resistance to damage, resistance to taking wounds, but it does reduce their strength. That being said, right, we will be bringing Earth Mages to cast Strength of Giants to kind of compensate for that. We're going to be casting more Legions of Steel. We don't have Mass Protection yet, but we do have Wooden Warriors, so we're going to be spamming out some Wooden Warriors. Obviously, we have our Blessings and our personal buffs, etc. And we're bringing an Enkidu Shaman. We're actually bringing 2 Enkidu Shamans. One Enkidu Shaman is actually going to be casting Howl. So I think Howl is going to be not super effective because we're not going to be fighting in a forest, but it's going to be relatively effective in distracting units in the rear and giving us some additional pressure. Because again, we're going for more of a attrition strategy where we just survive out because we're better protected, more health, etc, etc. Okay, so that's mostly it. Wooden Warriors, Wave Warriors, Legions of Steel, Strength of Giants. We have another Esham that we're bringing that is Wooden Warrior spamming as well. From Agartha, we're bringing several more Ishibs and another Gudu, another Earth Gudu to do more Strength of Giant spam, more Wave Warrior spam. We do have some Ishibs set in our Mushushu block to do quickness, because I do still think giving 4 or so Mushushus quickness is a pretty good idea, right? It makes them very, very killy. Unfortunately, we are too far away in Agartha to bring the Urguard units that we have here. And then, to kind of top things off, we are bringing in our God. Our God can make it all the way up to Delka. He is kitted out to be quite strong, actually. So he's going to, there's a argument to like try to quicken him. Truth be told, probably would be a really good idea. I wonder, can we like flight and quicken him? We might be able to flight and quicken him. Let's do a little thing real quick. We're gonna tuck him in the corner. Okay. We're actually going to take one of our Ishibs over here, and we'll spam out quickness again, just trying to hit our God. Honestly, I would say hit this. If we're trying to hit our God, let's like succeed in Liquid Body at the end there. And we weren't gonna bring in a Gudu, an Air Gudu, because we didn't really have anything to do with them. But do we even have Gift of Flight? Yeah, we have Gift of Flight. Awesome. Okay, so we could do Gift of Flight a couple of times, and then Mist Form, Mirror Image, and then cast spells all the way back in the corner. Alright, so that should be cool. So we'll kind of fluff our God. Our God, by the way, is going to be kind of crazily difficult to deal with. Although now, I'm curious as to whether or not we put Astral Shield on him. Get rid of maybe like Earth Power and put Astral Shield on him. Hey. That could be pretty big. Earth Power, though, is Reinvigoration 4. He's already got Reinvigoration 6 versus Encumbrance 5. I think that should be fine. So let's go with Astral Shield. Pretty good. Alright, so we'll do that. And that should be fun, right? We'll go through a little fluff scenario, and then our god will hopefully attack rear. Make sure we have him actually set on. Yeah, he's on attack rear. So that would be cool. We'll see how that actually turns out. But there's a chance, there's a very big chance, right, that Yomi does not attack into Delka. If Yomi does not attack into Delka, what does that mean, right? Do we feel ready to take the fight to Yomi? I feel like we could win some battles, but I would rather... We are so close to Alteration 7. And Alteration 7 with Mass Protection is, on its own, is a big fucking deal. Because it's no longer this Wooden Warriors shit. It's just straight up, boom, everyone gets Protection 10. It does give us fire susceptibility. So that is an issue, especially if his... Diones, if he has any fire Diones, and they've researched Fire Shield. Check that, actually. Pretenders, a Yomi, they don't, yeah, they automatically have fire. And then Fire Shield is enchantment. Yeah, Fire Shield is enchantment. Enchantment 3, so it's pretty likely that he has Fire Shield. That could be pretty dangerous. Huh. Well, that being said, we're still gonna make this move regardless. And I still think Mass Protection is the direction to go for what we're wanting to do, or what we're trying to achieve. So we'll see. I don't really know whether or not that's going to be a good move, but I'm pretty confident about a battle in Delka if it actually comes down to it. So that's going to be it for that. Is there anything else that's happening? Right, we got to do some hammer smithing. So what are we actually utilizing? Well, we've got some bags of wine left over, right? So we probably don't need more of those. We're using every single water lens we have, basically. You know what? This isn't enough. Chibs. They're not supposed to have 6. They're supposed to have 7. Every single one of them is supposed to have 7 gems. I should honestly be... I know I should be doing this. I should be putting my spare gems on people that aren't going to use them. But I always try to believe in the system that the game has. I don't know why. It's gonna fuck me. They're gonna use the gems that they're not supposed to use. They're unconservative, obviously, but we'll see. So we're using our Horns of Valor, right? We're using our Endless Bags of Wine. We're using our water lenses. Is there anything else that should be using? We're not using this Thistle Mace right now. Definitely be using that on someone. Let's just go ahead and give it to this Yeti as he researches. It's fine. Probably time to start. Really, nature and water are the only I feel comfortable forging with right now. And we've got Frostbrand. We could go for more water lenses. Probably going to be a good bet. Got a water lens there. We actually are pretty low on Ishibs. Probably go for another thing that I think we should be doing more frequently as well is Boots of the Messenger. We can make boots. We have a very good ability to just spam out Boots of the Messenger. And Boots of the Messenger are actually really, really useful. If you can economically produce Boots of the Messenger, you can just put them on mages. Because it's just three reinvig. And that's really good. So, probably going to do some Boots of the Messenger. And even if we don't put them on random mages, they're really good anyways. So, okay, that's it for forging. Everything else is fine. Any other big deals? Not that I can think of. We're still really unlucky on Astral Pearls. I don't really know what to do about that. Air is still not great. Earth's still not great. Fire's kind of whatever. Our death is actually okay. So we're close to our Alteration 7 goal. What do we do after Alt 7? The original kind of goal for after Alt 7 was to do something like Conjuration, right? To go down to Apkalus. But that's 60 Astral Pearls. There's no way I make it to 60 Astral Pearls with what I'm producing right now. So I think Astral's just kind of a dead end for me at the moment. So alternatively, I think probably doing the enchantment run is going to be the best run, specifically for things like Foul Vapors, Serpent's Blessing combinations, Relief, Mass Regeneration. Those are great boosts, right? We can pull off a Gaia's Blessing on our side with our God very easily, or with some of our Enkidu Shamans, right? So we have an Enkidu Shaman right now that is 3/3 already, as far as Gaia's Blessing goes. He can cast this right now, just with the Thistle Mace. He can do a Thistle Mace puts him at Nature 4. So he can do Gaia's Bounty, which gives him Nature 1, and then he can cast Gaia's Blessing on the entire battlefield, right? Which gives good resistances on everything, right? Which is very nice. Oofa doofa. So I feel like Enchantment is probably going to be the next best place for us. Getting us Tree Lords, potentially getting Gift of Health, right? Gift of Health would be pretty awesome. I think this is probably the route for us. So after Alt 7, we're probably going to do a hard push for enchantments. We might do a pop-off into construction sometime during that for Construction 6, basically. But I think the better bang for our buck is to do at least a straight run towards Enchantment 8 for Mass Regeneration. I think Mass Regeneration is going to be a pretty good option for us. Also, Foul Vapor's Serpent's Blessing is probably a combo that we don't want to overlook, right? We'll see. Okay, that's kind of it for the turn. Not a super exciting turn, but could be really cool if we get a nice fight here in Delca. If this is indeed what happens, right? If he pops us here, and we catch him, and we have a very good fight for us, like if we come away with this with 75% of our forces intact or something like that, and crush him, then we're probably going to either make a dead run for his capital, or just start trolling around in his lands with what we've got. Okay? So we will see how that goes next time. Bye, everybody.